I mean, I don't know what happens in cities that are away from the border, but here in the border, there are options.
People that live here in Brownsville, they cross a lot to Mexico simply because of medication, doctor visits, veterinarians.
I've lived here all my life, most of my life here in the border.
Norma Perez Alazaran has worked in the medical field on the U.S. side of the border for years, but once every 6 weeks, she visits Mexico.
You work in a medical clinic,
I do.
and yet you go to Mexico to buy prescriptions and to see doctors.
Yes. And I can tell you that's the case with many coworkers now, and many coworkers where I worked at a hospital, where I worked at clinics here in the area. That's the norm.
For Hispanics who live along the U.S. side of the border, that's one thing. They speak the language and fit in here. The 4 Americans who were shot and kidnapped did not.
Still, that violent attack hasn't kept others from coming.
Oh, I'm very nervous. I'm very shaken.
Evelyn Ballard traveled from Louisiana for liposuction.
We took precaution before we actually came, getting rid of a lot of things, like jewelry, clothing, expensive things that, can be hijacked or even cost us our lives.
Saving just $1,000, she already has buyer's remorse.
I had already planned this before I even knew anything about anything. And like I said, research is everything. You have to do your research. And I didn't start researching until later on, but by that time I had paid for everything. So it's just like I paid for it. I'm not going to waste my money.
Brownsville police investigator Martin Sandoval knows people will always cross. He just hopes they know the risk.
We understand that budgets are tight right now, and so some people are trying to find alternatives, and that is a way, but follow the recommendations as best to your ability in order to prevent things like this to happen, and hopefully, you'll come back safe.
But not everyone does. The 4 Americans were kidnapped right here on a busy street in broad daylight. But doctors stress kidnapping isn't the only problem that can come up.
Outside of the country, you have no idea about the certification of the doctor, the facility, and all of these things which are designed to keep you safe. And yes, you can save some money by going out of the country to get surgery, but if you have a complication, suddenly all of that savings is gone. And I've seen people die from going outside of the country for surgery. It's just, to me, it's not worth your health or your life to save a few dollars.